perform some operation. What is the syntax to write a method? Method will have a return type, method will have a name, and method will have a parameter. So return type represents what that method is going to return after performing the operation. मुझे अच्छा नहीं लग रहा. Yeah. Methods are used to perform some operation. So in the Java, we are going to write the programs. Inside one program, we can write several methods to perform the operation. As of now, we are writing our logic by using only main method. Main method is our method. Our main method is a predefined method. Main method is a predefined method which is given by Java. Whenever we run the program, our program execution will start from main method. Main method is called JVM, entry point for the execution. Along with that main method, we can write our own methods also in the Java program. Those are called as user-defined methods. We can create our own method to perform the operation. The method which we are creating, that is called as a user-defined method. What is the syntax to create user-defined method? What is the syntax to create user-defined method? A method will have a return type, method will have a name, method will have a parameter, and method will have a body. Method will have a body. This is the starting point of the method, and this is the ending point of the method. Inside the method, you can write your own logic. After that logic is executed, you can return some value from the method. You can return some value from the method. Now, so let me go here and let me create one method. Let me go and let me create one method. Right. Return type, method name, method parameter, and method return type. Here guys, whenever we are writing the methods, method parameter is optional. Method return type is mandatory. Method name is mandatory. And method parameter is also optional. Method parameter is optional. Right. Methods are used to perform some operation. Method will have a return type, and it will have a name, and it will have a parameter. A method can have more than one parameter also. You can take any number of parameters for a method. Inside the method, we will write the logic, and method is going to return some value based on the return type. Here, method return type is mandatory. Whenever you are writing a method return type is mandatory. Suppose, if you don't want to return anything from the method, then you need to take a void. Void represents that method is not returning anything. Void represents method not returning anything. Method return type is mandatory. If you don't want to return anything, if you don't want to return anything, then you should use void. You should use void. Method name is mandatory. You can use any name for the method. M1 method, M2 method, add method, divide method, login method, register method, forget password method. You can use any name for the method. You can use any name for the method. Method name is mandatory. Method parameters are optional. If you want some input for your method, you can take a parameter. If you don't want any input for the method, then you no need to take any parameter. Main method is having a parameter. What is the parameter for the main method? Main method parameters is a string array. That means array is a parameter for the method. Alright. Now, when the method is having a return type, then you have to return some value from the method. When method is having a return type, then method must return that value. When method is having return type, then it has to return that value. It has to return that value. And method return type should be the last statement of the method. Whenever you are trying to return some value from the method, after the return statement, there should not be any lines of code. Return statement should be the last line of the method. Return statement should be the last line of the method. Return statement should be the last line of the method. Good. Return type is mandatory. Chemical Avinash.
అలా వచ్చాక ఏం చేస్తానంటే ఆ మడ్డు నీళ్ళు గుంచుతాను గుంజి ఒక గిన్నె వేస్తాను కాయలకి మాత్రం ఆగిపోయి పరిగెత్తాను రోజు కూడా ఎలా అంటుకుంటే అలా అంటుకుంటాను
Is mandatory. If you don't want to return anything from the method, then you should use void. Method name is mandatory. Method parameters are optional. When method is having a return type, then it has to return the value. Return statement should be the last line of the method. When you are trying to return some value from the method, after that return statement, you should not write any line of code. That is the meaning of that. Return statement should be last line of the method. For example, I want to perform sum of two numbers. I want to perform sum of two numbers. Now, I can write a method like this. I can write a method like this. Int. What is int? Data type. So, I'm going to use that as a return type. That means my method should perform some operation. After that, it has to return some int value. It has to return some int value. Name can be anything. Method name can be anything. So let me use the name as a add. In order to perform the add, I need two values. Okay, I need two parameters for the method. One is integer a, comma integer b. Integer a, integer b are called as parameters of the method. So what is the meaning of that? This method is expecting two parameters. This method expecting two parameters. Now, I'm going to do integer c is equal to a plus b. Integer c is equal to a plus b. That is my logic. Performing sum of two numbers is my logic. What is the return type of this method? Integer. Now, this method has to return that is c. This method has to return that is c. Now, I'm taking a method. My method is having a return type. My method is having a name. My method is having a parameter. My method is having a logic. My method is having some return statement. Okay. Now, let me write one more method. Void hello. What is the return type of the method? Void. What is the meaning of void? My method is not going to return anything. Just it will have the logic system.out.println hello. Hello friend. Hello my friend. Hello my friend. I'm just writing a method. My method return type is void. That means my method is not going to return anything, and my method does not have any parameter also, and my method does not have a return value also. For example, I have first name and last name. Can you write the method to concatenate first name and last name? I will give you my first name and last name. Can you give me full name? Yes or no? I will give my first name and last name. Can you give me my full name? Yes. So what we need to do now? What we need to do now? My method will take first name and last name. That means method is taking how many parameters? Two parameters available. I want to concatenate my first name and last name, return the full name. So my method should return some name. So that means parameters are strings only, return type also string only. Now I'm going to write the method. Return type is a string and method name is full name. Method name is full name, string, first name, comma, string, last name. Now I'm writing the body. Here I'm going to take string. String name is equal to f name plus l name. Can I do like this? Now, can I return the name now? Yes. Can you tell me what is this method doing now? What is the logic of this method? What is the logic of this method? This method is doing some concatenation. It is taking two parameters, first name and last name. First name and last name are parameters of the method, and this is the logic. Whatever the parameters we are getting, we are concatenating those two parameters. We are concatenating those two parameters. Then finally I am returning the name. Suppose if I take a void here, can I return the value? No need to return the value. If my method return type is void, my method will execute the logic, but my method will not give me anything. If you want to return some value from the method, then you need to go for void. Void nothing but no returning. Nothing is returning by the method. Now, can you take two parameters? Can you take two parameters? Can you perform some of those two parameters? Can you return the value? Yes. Integer add is available. Int a comma into b. What is this int a comma into b? Those are called parameters of the method. Those are called as parameters of the method. What is the data type of the parameter? Int a comma into b. So what is the return type of the method? What is the return type of the method? Int only. What is the meaning of int? That is the final value that method is going to return. What is the purpose of return keyword? To return some value from that method. Now, I want to take a person age, and I want to tell that person is eligible for vote or not. If he is eligible, return true, otherwise return false value. Can we write a method for that? So, what is the input for you? Age. Person age is the input for you. If age is greater than 18, then you need to return as true. Otherwise, you need to return as false value. Can you tell me how to write the method? Age we need to take. What that method has to return? Method has to return true or false value. So true or false means Boolean is the return type. Can I check? Can I write the method called check? Yes, check. What I need? Age. Can I take age as a parameter? Either you can take byte or you can take int also. Now, check that person is eligible for vote or not. If his age is greater than 18, greater than or equal to 18, then return true. Otherwise, return false value. How can we do that? If age greater than or equal to 18, age greater than or equal to 18, then return true. Return true. Else return false. Else return false value. Okay. So with this we are able to understand how to write a method, what is the purpose of the parameter, and what is the purpose of the return type. Look at this. Can you please read these points once? Methods are used to perform some operations. Method will have a return type, name will be available, parameter also will be available, logic and return value. Method return type is mandatory. If you don't want to return anything, then you should use void. Method should have a name. For every method, name is mandatory. Method parameters are optional. If you want some input for the method, if you want to take some input for the method, then only use the parameter. Otherwise, don't take the parameter. Method, when we are having a return type, that method has to return that value. That method has to return the value. Return statement should be the last line of the method. Return statement should be the last line of the method. Now can you see here? My method is having a return type. My method is having a parameter. My method is having a logic. My method is doing some return value. Then what about this method? Void. When we will use void return type for the method? method will do something, but it will not return anything. Method will perform some operation, but that method is not going to return anything for you. When you don't want to return anything from the method, then you can go for a void. What is the return type of our main method? Void. Main method return type is void. What is the meaning of that? Main method will perform some operation, but it will not return anything. Main method will perform some operation, but it will not return anything. All right. Void full name. I'm taking first name, last name as a parameter. Those are string parameters. And while it is concatenating the strings, we can write that system.out.println of name. Just that name will be printed. Now go for Boolean check. What is the name of this last method? Name. Name is the check. What is the parameter of the method? Integer age. Age is a parameter. What is the data type of age? What is the data type age? Integer. That means what that method is expecting. That method is expecting into value. That method is expecting into value. All right. Method is expecting into value. What is the return type of the method? Method return type is Boolean. What is the meaning of that? Method can return either true or false value. It has to return either true or false value. Are you able to understand how to write the methods? Yes. Why we need to write the methods? Methods are used to perform some operations. All right. Methods are divided into two types, guys. Methods are divided into two types. First one is instance methods. Second one is static methods. First one is instance method and the second one is static methods. Now, instance methods are nothing but object level methods. Static methods are nothing but class level methods. Instance methods, which are called as object level methods. Static methods are called as class level methods. Object level methods and class level methods. Instance methods, whenever we write a method, that method will not execute by default. JVM will understand only main method. If you write any other method in the Java class, that method will not be executed by default. Let me show you. Let me go to our program. So here we have student class. We have a student class. Let me take main method. Inside the main method, I'm writing system.out.println. System.out.println. Hi, I am a student. I'm writing some line. Here, method name is main. Method parameter is a string array. Method return type is void. Inside the method, one SOP is available. What is the purpose of SOP? What is the purpose of SOP? Printing purpose. My method is printing some statement, but is my method returning anything? No, my method is not returning anything. Run this program. Am I able to print some value? Yes, I'm printing some value. Now, let me take one method, void hello, system.out.println, hello, my friend. Now tell me, total how many methods are available? Total there are two methods available. What are those two methods? One is a main method, another one is a hello method. Main method is available, hello method is available. If a main method is executed, this statement should be printed. If a hello method is executed, then this statement should be printed. Let's run this. How many methods got executed? Only one method got executed. Which method got executed? Only main method got executed. What about hello? Hello method executed or hello method not executed? hello method not executed. Why? Okay, if I keep it as a static, will it be called 100%? Simple example. I have written the method. Does the JVM know about this method? No. JVM knows which method? JVM knows only main method. JVM don't know about hello method. Now, we need to tell to JVM, hey JVM, you will start execution from the main method now. You please call my method also. I need to inform the JVM to call my method also. Right. My method is a instance method. I'm not writing static keyword. If I write the static keyword, my method will become static. Currently, my method is a static or my method is a instance. My method is a instance. Now, when you write instance method or static method, you have to call the method. You have to call the method. Let me write another method, static void greet. Static void greet. Now, good evening. Now tell me, how many methods available in my class now? Total, there are 3 methods available. First one is a main method, that is a JVM method, forget about it. How many methods I have created? 2 methods I have created. One is hello, another one is a greet. Now, what is the return type of both methods? Void. One method is a instance method, another one is a static method. How can you understand that method is an instance method or that method is a static method? Static keyword. Static keyword is available. When you use static keyword for the method, then that method is called as a static method. Now, let me run this program. Which method is executed? Only main method is executed. My instance method, my static method, not executed by the JVM. My instance method and my static method is not executed by the JVM. Are you clear with my point? Yes. Why they are not executing? The reason is JVM don't know about our methods. JVM don't know about our methods. JVM knows only main method. JVM will execute only main method. If you want to execute your method, then you need to call that method. If you want to execute your method, then you need to call your method. Now, if you want to call instance methods, object is required. If you want to call the static methods, class is required. Okay. Instance methods will be called by using instance methods. Instance method will be called by using object. Static method will be called by using class. Instance method will be called by using object. Static method will be called by using class. Alright. Where I need to call now? Inside the main method. First, let me create the object for the student. Student S1 is equal to new student. Now, S1 dot hello. Is that method returning anything, guys? No. What is the return type of the method? Void. Now, what about greet? Greet is a static method. How to call the static method? Class name dot method name. Class name dot method name. Now run the program. Now can you see? All the methods are executing. First, which method is executing? Main method. Inside the main method, I'm calling the instance method as well as static method. How I am calling the instance method? Instance method I am calling by using object. Static method I am calling by using class name. by using class name. Good. Understand this code? Look at the code. Huh? That is also a predefined. Yes. Without class name also we can execute the method when both methods are in the same class. If this method is in a different class, then we'll call class named method. We'll come to that. And today is very important topic. पूरा दिमाग खराब कर दिया. हाँ? अरे यार. And then students, is my voice clear? Yes. We are trying to understand. We are going to yeah, perfect. Good. Excellent. All right, guys. Chalo. So, we are trying to understand the very important concept for a programmer, that is methods. So everything, whatever you want to perform in the application, that we will do by using methods only. When you now, is this clear, guys? Online students? Huh? Yes, no? Right. Methods are used to perform some operations. For every method, return type will be available, and method name will be available, and the method parameter also will be available. Inside the method, whatever the logic you want, you can write that logic. If you want to return some value from the method, then take the return type, then return that value. Method return type is mandatory. Whenever you are writing a method, it's mandatory that you need to write some return type for the method. If you don't want to return anything, then also you should write void. Void means you are not going to return anything. If you want to return some number, take a integer. If you want to return some true or false, take a boolean. If you want to return some decimal value, then take the float or double value. So whatever you want to return, you can take that as a return type. Method return type, method name, method parameter. Method is used to perform some operation, some action. To perform some operation, if a method wants some data, that data we can pass as a method parameter. Method can take one parameter, or it can take two parameters, it can take 10 parameters also. We can pass more than one parameter also for the method. We can take more than one parameter also for the method. Now, method parameters are totally optional. When method is having return type, then it has to return that value. When method is having return type, then it has to return that value. Return statement should be the last line of the method. Whenever you are writing a return statement, that return statement should be last line of the method. Here I have taken add method. What is the purpose of add method? To perform sum of two numbers. Take two into values, take two numbers as input and return sum as output. Take two numbers as input and return sum as a output. So I needed two numbers as a input. For that I'm taking int a comma int b. These are two inputs for the method. Method name is add. Two numbers I will take as input and I will return sum as output. Into c is equal to a plus b, return c. Method return type is integer. My method returning the int value. Now write a method just to print a message on the console. Write a method to print a message on console. This method not taking any input, not returning print a message on the console. Whenever you call this method, this message that message on the console. Void hello system.out.println hello my friend. Next one, void full name. Take two names as input, concatenate them. Take two names as input, concat them and print on console. Concat void. What is the meaning of a void? What is the meaning of a void? Void means my method is not going to return anything. My method is not going to return anything. Then we'll take it as a void. We will take it as void. No voice, huh? Audible or not audible? Audible now? Right. So to take two names as input, concat them and print on the console. Void full name, string first name comma, string last name. I am concatenating those two methods and I am printing the final name. Now here I am writing one method. Take the age as a input and return true or false value. Take person age as input. If person age greater than or equal to 18, then return true, else return false. If a person age greater than or equal to 18, then return true, else return false value. Okay, boolean check. What I am taking as a parameter? What is the parameter of my method? My method parameter is integer. My method parameter is integer. I am checking a condition. If age greater than or equal to 18, then I will return true, else I will return false value. I will return false value. Okay. Now, in the Java, methods are divided into two types, guys. What are those methods? One is instance method, second one is static method. What is the difference between instance method and static method? Instance methods are object level methods. Instance methods will be called by object of the class. What about the static methods? Static methods are called as class level methods. Static methods will be called by using class name. JVM will, when we write the methods in the class, by default, those methods will not be executed. When we write methods in Java class, by default, JVM will not execute them. If you write one method, or if you write 10 methods, if you write 20 methods also, JVM is not going to execute those methods. If I want to execute my method, then what I have to do? If I want to execute my method, then what I have to do? If I want to execute my method, then I have to call the method. To execute our methods, we have to call them. Where I need to call them? Where I need to call them? Main method. Why we need to call our methods in the main method? Why we need to call our methods in the main method? Come on. Why we need to call them in the main method? Main method is the entry point for JVM execution. So we have to call our methods from the main method only. Whenever we run the program, JVM will come and JVM will start executing from the main method. JVM will come and JVM will start executing from the main method. In the main method, first line is used to print the statement, second line is used to create the object, third line is used to call the instance method s1.hello. What is there in the s1? SOP. It is going to print that line of code. Then next one, student.greet. What is the student.greet? Class name dot method name. What is the meaning of class name dot method name? I am calling the static method. What is the logic available in the static method? System.out.println good evening. So this method also used to print the statement. This method also used to print the statement. One is a instance method, another one is a static method. These two methods I am calling from my main method. Why I am calling from the main method? Why I am calling from the main method? JVM will start our program execution from main method. Main method is called as entry point for JVM execution. Main method is called as entry point for JVM execution. All right. Now, guys, can I write a method like this? Can I write a method like this? Void m1. Void m1. Is it valid? Yes or no? Yes. What is the name of the method? M1. What is the parameter of the method? What is the parameter of the method? Nothing. What is the return type of the method? Void. What is the meaning of void? Method does not have any return type. Next one, I am going for void m1 into a comma float f. Into a comma float f. Is it valid? Yes, valid. Yes, why it is valid? One is a int parameter, another one is a float parameter. That means your method can take any type of parameter. So one parameter is integer, another parameter is a float, and third parameter can be other data type also. Method parameter can be anything. And what is the return type of the method? Void. What is the meaning of the void? That method is not returning anything. That method is not returning anything. Now I am going to take a method integer add into a comma into b into a comma